Officially, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Wednesday market midpoint, though we have a half day today, no day tomorrow. And then we have Black Friday. And that will wrap things up for the week and carry us through to December. Crazy. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. As always, let me remind you that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we talk about or do or say should be intended or considered a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, therefore don't give personalized financial advice. Decisions made should be done at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. What are we going to do today? We'll talk about today's opening analysis. Futures look good again. We're seeing a nice little pop this week, hopefully, with the Fed's perceived dovishness. We may have what we're looking for to start our final rallies of the year. We'll take a peek at the market posture. We'll take a peek at open trades and possibly new trades. Just exploring setups, and then lastly, wrapping up with trading plan section of the week. And we'll see where that leaves us. Okay, let's get into it. Bear with me as I get everything set up. All right, let's get going. Okay. Thought I already had these updated, but we'll start here. Where's our percentage? Probably sitting in these mid 80s. It dropped a little bit. Down into the low 80s. Still high probability, high expectations for the rate cut coming in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, in fact. Okay. Okay. The futures. 0.27 on the S&P, 0.20 on the Dow, 0.41 on the NASDAQ. Flat. Minus 0.1 on the Russell. VIX is set to open down. Gold is kind of flat as well. Yes, I can absolutely show you that. David Wilson, absolutely. Not really anything moving this. It's just sort of coasting to some extent on what we've been seeing. Stock futures tick up and count down to Thanksgiving. Our number one article is about Toyota figuring out what makes Trump happy. Okay. NVIDIA denies its circular financing. Two big short sellers agree. So there are those who think that NVIDIA is got some circular logic in its AI investments and expectations. What else? Major market does look a little better. Sector rotation. Okay, sector rotation, Steven says, still has tech on the bottom on the 22 day. And healthcare still leading. Okay. I mean, that's... we've seen some shifts. We've seen a little money flow into consumer discretionary. Maybe a little into to communication services. And possibly even into industrials. We're hoping to see more. But I agree. I don't think we'll see the sector rotation pop enough in the this week to significantly change that score. It'll be interesting to see. All right. Let's look at the news. What did we get today? Jobless claims. I don't see the jobless claims. Can someone track down, so I don't have to go while we're talking, and see if they can see what were today's jobless claims? And yes, today is a short day. We're done at 1. Done at 1. We will get the beige book today. In addition to jobless claims, we will get the beige book. With the Thanksgiving holiday, there is obviously no news nor market tomorrow. Minimal news Friday, but full day Friday, Black Friday. And I would actually expect, if today stays pretty good, I would actually think we could continue on Friday and see the buyers continue to push. So, yeah. All right. That's what's happening. 216. That's actually better than expected. We were at 220. We thought we might get 225. We got 216. And here's what's happening is you're seeing, especially in tech, layoffs are increasing. And not just tech, but it's not enough yet. Well, I mean, okay, so let me backtrack that. We don't know if it's enough yet to start showing negative monthly job changes. We will get ADP's outlook. That's the private payroll outlook next week on Wednesday. But we're not set to get, we're still looking to get December or September's PCE data. Remember, PCE is the Fed's most favorite of all inflationary data. We're looking to get that on Friday of next week. But there is no Department of Labor report, no BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics data anywhere to be seen from a monthly standpoint. All right. Market opened. Let's start at the SPY. And yeah, you can see here. It's another good start. Right? Another good start. We're up 0.45% now. So far, Monday we had a good day, but not above average volume. Tuesday we had a good day, but not above average volume. What are the odds we get above average volume today? Almost zero. The odds are almost zero. There's just on a light week. Well, okay. Obviously, it's 100% zero because it's only a half a day. Sorry, I was thinking Friday. We need to cut this in half for today. If our average volume today, not in half, but close. Let's do the math. Average is 85, 475-ish. Let me see. Who do we have to threaten to fire to get the data? A good joke since somebody already got fired about the previous data. Let's get a calculator up here. And we're going to take the average. So we're open today for 3.5 hours out of a normal 6.5 hours. So that's our multiplier. 85,493. We're going to say 85,500,000. 100, boom, boom, 88,550,000. That's this number here. 47,680. And then we'll times that by 1.05. 50 million. We'll just call it 50 million. We'll put a round number on it. 50 million. We need to see 50 million shares today in order to get an above average volume day. Now, what is the odds that we see 50 million? Very, very, very low. Almost zero. Almost zero. Okay. Okay. Let me back this back out. Oops, other way. But a good start. We're about 0.5% up. Let's look at the VIX. Good start. We're not all the way back yet, though. If you hung out with us yesterday, you saw us draw a line right across here. And then we put a little line above it, and we said this is still a bit of a danger zone. If we reverse without coming down, that's a higher high. Now, either way, we've had a huge drop, which I think we could continue to keep seeing like we did last time. We were up in this area. Big drop, kept coming. Then, also likely to have a lower high. So if we do see the market take a little pause into December and then roll over again, that's a lower high. So it's kind of like what we're getting now plus what might we get through the end of the year. Those are the things that we're thinking about here. Those are the things that we're thinking about here. Let's go look at some trades. Here's the alert that went out on Monday. Looking good. Continuing higher, up 1%. Great day yesterday. Okay day today. What? Looking good. Still looking quite good. Okay, let's keep going. Wait. Tony Z said it's opposite. He said today's a full day. Friday closes at 1. We better get our story straight. We better get our story straight. Oh. I think Tony's right. It looks like both exchanges will close at 1 the following days. Friday the 28th and December 24th, Christmas Eve. We might have had that backwards. Tony Z, thank you for flagging. So we may have the full day. So disregard what I said about 50 million shares. Disregard. What's the source? And does anyone want to confirm? What's the source? Can we confirm? CNBC says that's the same. Okay, let's plan on that. Full day today. We still need to have way over 88 million though. Half day on Friday. Friday closing at 1. That sounds good. Okay. So it looks like there's more time for the alert if there one comes today. If there is one that comes today. Let's go look at the stocks and see what we think. Apple's continued to push to new highs. AMKR trying to touch into new areas. Amazon maybe has done enough to be considered for a trade on the pullback, but wasn't enough this time, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's keep going here. What else do we have? Barron says all day. Okay. We've switched. Apologies for previous information. Today is a full day, but with light volume. Friday will be a half day with even lighter light volume. APH a bit iffy. ASX maybe turning for the move. ABGO hitting some resistance likely. AXP. Look at AXP trying to make the V. Trying to give that V bottom. Bank of America continuing to move. Citigroup as well. A lot of continuations going on here. Industrials, I think there's still time. That's where I'm looking to see if there's still a possibility for a continuation trade. Okay, let's keep going. CIEN. Also okay. CLS, no. Look at CLS. rolling over a little bit. Coherent trying to start moving again. Credo starting to move again, but you have earnings coming up soon. Cisco. Ooh, what did I say? I said Cisco could just kind of go sideways, but we'll still see this pinch. I could see Cisco finally turning the corner by Friday. Maybe today, but likely Friday. Delta overextended. Overextended. Okay, let's see. Here's the Dow. Ford, not a little underperforming. Fox. Fox looks like it could be trying to actually pop out of the hiccup here. That looks reasonable. First Solar trying to get moving again. No for GE. Gold. Maybe gold. Maybe gold. General Motors looks pretty strong. Google's starting to roll over. So if you had Google, it was a great trade. Looks like it's topping out. Looks like it's time to maybe take profit before the long, shorter weekend. Goldman still looks good. GTX. Howmet was one I liked. Howmet is maybe the second, almost the first, maybe the second. So we'll come back to Howmet. I think I was looking at one yesterday that I thought would get its first hike in Ashley today. IBM kind of topping out. Intel, no. Small caps still going. Small caps are still going, still pushing. Steve C., good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. See you Friday. Anyone else who I don't see before the time comes? JCI, I think, looks strong for an entry. A lot of them have already moved. This one's just kind of getting into its groove coming off the 50. I think JCI shows some opportunity for us. First Solar, maybe. I'm leaning JCI so far if I'm going to put one on today. Lumentum, no. Overextended. LRCX, maybe. MasterCard, no, not MasterCard. Macy's. Macy's looks good, but it's got earnings coming up in a couple of days. Nothing there for us. If you missed the trade back here, you're obviously too late. MasterCard. No, obviously. Meta, no. Meta has done enough that on the next pullback, I might think, yeah, okay. There's something here for us, but not yet. Morgan Stanley, I think you could still catch, right? If we're looking at an extended run of financial stocks, I think you still have time to catch it. Right? I think there's still time for that. Okay, let's keep going. Microsoft obviously is a no, but we'll keep watching it. Micron, I think you could make an argument because it's such a strong stock, but I don't know. It was a pretty big pullback. Netflix, no. Nvidia, no. NXT, maybe. Palantir, no. QQQ, it's trying to bust out of this small tech consolidation. It's trying to get up out of there. The real. This looks fine. Gonna keep on watching, keep on carrying this. Roku. I mean, it looks like it's trying to make a new bounce, but it's coming from under the 100. Oh, speaking of, sorry. Thinkorswim, I'm on my charts. I come here to my beaker. Okay. I come in here. Now, I like to use exponential moving averages for my price moving averages. I use a simple moving average for my volume. So volume, I just want to know, like, on any given period of time, what's the last 20 days of volume? For an exponential, I do want it a little bit more weighted to the near term. So it's a little different. It's not a lot different, but it's a little different. So you'll notice I have moving average exponential 3 times here. Simple moving average here in volume. So I would come over here and I would type in EXP to go just narrow it down to these 4 that have that. And you'll see the third one down, moving average exponential. Then I would actually add 2 of these, one for the 50, one for the 100. And so you notice when I add 2 new ones, it always starts as a 9. That's the default, 9. So once I have my 9 over here, I come over to the right to this little cog. This little cog right here is the settings. And what I need to do is I need to change the input from close. No, I'm not changing the input. All I need to change is the length. Make this one 100. Now, default is green. We already have green. Green's the 50. So you need to change the length to 100 and then change this to, I think I did this reddish color on mine. Then do the same thing here. Click the settings. You change this to 200, the length. Then you change the color to blue. Okay. And then you have the 100, the 200, red, and blue. Steve C. back via mobile. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. All right. Ross Stores. Overextended. RTX. Maybe. Silver. Maybe. I like silver better than gold, if I were to say that. SNDK. Kind of stalling there. Snowflake. Stalling earnings early next week. Mid next week, 12/3. SoFi, still moving. SPY, all right, we're seeing a pretty decent. We were up 0.5, now we're up 0.65. It's looking all right today. STX still has some potential, I believe. So does Teradyne. I would say both of these are going to be in. So Teradyne, STX, these are both. I think I like Teradyne a little better. First momentum. This would be a continuation trade. I would not put my stops. I would put my stops pretty tight, maybe below yesterday's low. You're still talking about 14 points. 14 points, which means I need how many? 28. I need at least 2 to 1. So if I'm going to put my stop down here and I have 14 on the stop, I need 28 from 173. 28 from 173 puts me just above 200. I said 200. Yeah, okay. I think you can have a nice 2-to-1 continuation trade on this. I would say this is valid. I think I'm still leaning towards JCI going into industrials. But I do like this one. I do like this Teradyne and STX. TJX overextended. Needs to pull back. Tesla, no. TSM, no. VIX is still coming down. Let's see. Wayfair. Okay. Not bad. Still moving. Still seeing that movement in consumer discretionaries, right? In consumer discretionaries. WBD. Oh, look at WBD. Look at this out of nowhere. We were in this little kind of consolidation pennant. Stochastics is turning. We're popping out of it. Stop loss. I could probably go back into this pattern. I mean, I'm thinking that's 75 cents of risk. What could I get out of this? This last move was basically 20 to 24. That's 4 points. 27. Boom. 27. That would be about $3.35. $3.35 on. That's a nice reward to risk right there. I'm add that to my list actually. Maybe it's communication services more so than it's industrials. Maybe it's data storage. There's a few areas to think about. So if you have room for a trade, I believe you have trades on the docket. Room for a trade, stomach for the trade, desire for the trade. WDC still looks pretty good. Walmart chopping around after earnings. Well, we got things to do things pretty quickly. Let's do this. Let's go through the XLs. I'm going to go back to the. I'm going to look at Teradyne. I'm going to look at WBD. I'm going to look at JCI. And let's just sort of explore what they would look like, because maybe I look at the three of them and you started to lean towards one, and then I put an alert out and it happens to be on a different trade than you were thinking. And you're like, gosh, you know what? I actually kind of like this one better. So that way everyone could sort of take their pick. Okay, XLB. Materials all of a sudden made a big move up. That was a pretty solid move. I'm not sure where that's coming from. XLC, Communication Services, trying to break. We love that. Energy, trying to bounce. Pretty flat overall. You can see we've been in around this area quite frequently throughout the last 6 months. Financials, trying to continue to show more. Industrials. I mean, they're making a good effort. I'm going to give them credit for an effort, but we'll see if they have the ability to turn things. XLK down a little bit from the open. XLP, don't love this. We kept feeling like, hey, look, consumer staples it's in the tank. It's down at the bottom. We don't have to worry about it. It's not defensive. And all of a sudden it's like, wait a second. That looks and feels just a little defensive. Utilities could be trying to make a bounce. Healthcare may be pausing after its last move. Consumer discretionary looks pretty solid overall. Yeah, I gotta say, all things considered, for a short week, the last week in November, I feel okay about what we've had this week and what we're seeing and how it may positively impact market posture going in to finish the rest of this year. So, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Starting back at Johnson Controls. Yesterday's high, 115.50. I'd like to see it hold. So I'm going to wait until later in the day to see if this holds. If we get a second half of the day sell-off, a lot of these that we're considering, we might just be like, you know what, let's hold off and wait until after the holiday. But if I were to take this trade, because of yesterday's candle, where you can see the sellers pushed it all the way to 112.57. This low is 112.20. I might go, right underneath that. I might go like 112.05, 112, even a little under. So that'd be about 4.5, not quite 5 points. 4.5, not quite 5. But I'm looking to get my take profit here. It's 123. So that's 7.5 almost. And then I would say 15 total for the move. It was a nice strong move. 15 would put us around 128. Up in this area up here. Okay. 128 would be about 12.5 off of 4.5. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 3-to-1. That's a 3-to-1. I think that looks reasonable. If I did Teradyne, it's going to be a 2-to-1 based off of Heikin-Ashi on a continuation trade. Right? So we've got a 3-to-1 bounce versus a 2-to-1 continuation. And the one I'm actually kind of starting to lean towards is actually this one. This is going to give me 4-to-1 potential. It's got some great momentum. You can see this thing is starting to fly. Stop loss would be back in here around this level. Taking 75-80 cents of risk and looking to catch. What was my target on this one? 27? Yeah, 27. 4-point move. 27. Weigh in, you guys. What are your thoughts? We've got 3 different style of trades. To some extent, I mean, they're all just bullish trades, but like the reward to risk, how we set the stops, what sector we find them in, all just a little bit different. So you kind of have the ability. But I find myself leaning towards WBD. Lee says that. Tony agrees. We're all kind of like, hey, this thing showed up out of nowhere. We talked about it yesterday, actually. We did talk about what would it take for this to turn and give us a signal. And literally what we defined is right there. You can see it. If you go back and watch yesterday's recording, I drew that candle and said, this is what I would need to see. And there it is showing up. So Is it a Thanksgiving miracle? I don't know if I would go that far. Are there such things as Thanksgiving trading miracles? Yes, 100%. Don't kid yourself. Of course there are. Absolutely. Okay. But if you already have a couple of communication services trades or one, you might think, oh, I don't know if I want another. Maybe you're missing something in industrials, right? Maybe you're missing something. Maybe you have a lot of tech already and you're thinking, I know that those storage have been doing well, but I'm looking to move outside of tech. JCI and WBD, I would say those are, they have the better reward to risk. There's something about this one. It's drawn me in. It's definitely drawing me in. Okay. Those are the three. Those are the three that I think we're most inclined to find a trade on. Let's talk about the trading plan real quickly. Okay. Let's talk about the trading plan, routines, daily, weekly, monthly. We're focusing first and foremost on daily and weekly. We do a lot of weekly work together, obviously, right? We do a lot of our weekly work together on Sunday mornings. So hopefully you sort of get a little bit done before and after. That. So that work is all done. I hope that you find that your before market, during market, after market routines are getting stronger. Any questions? I know we haven't talked about it. I know people are starting to bounce. Any questions about what types of things should be in or on our routines? Let me know. You guys are good. Well, we've got a little extra time. I'll let you go a little early here. News, FinViz, yes. So my morning routine, I'm going to check the news. I'm going to check the economic calendar. I'm going to check my trades pre-market. Where are my stops? Where are my targets? How's everything moving? Yep. Take a look at the international markets. How do they look? Right? There's several things that we can do just to sort of orient and prepare ourselves for the day. If you go into the sample plan, I basically wrote my routines out almost verbatim. It's pretty much crafted from my own routines. Yeah, that's pretty much where it's crafted from. All right. Well, Thank you, Sandy. Have a great week as well. Happy Thanksgiving. I know you don't celebrate necessarily down there. Hopefully you've adopted it. It's a great holiday. You should pick it up. You should pick it up. Yeah. To all of you who do celebrate, if you're up north, I know you had your Thanksgiving in October, but happy Thanksgiving to you. And everybody here in the States, I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope the turkeys turn out great, that you enjoy time with friends and family. We will be back on Friday morning for Glenn. Friday afternoon for Scott. And we'll wrap the week up that way. But don't check out. Still good opportunity for one more alert to come out before the Thanksgiving weekend. So thanks, everybody. As always, happy trading.